going on, PS Nation? Dave here, live from E3 2016. I'm here with Eric Osborne, head of marketing for Bungie.
Sure. Head of community, marketing guy, lots of titles, lots of hats.
Deej's boss. He gets to tell him what to do.
Sure. I can fire him right now. You want me to fire him right now? I'll send a text message. We'll get him out of here. We'll knock him out of the chair.
They've been gracious enough with their time to give us a little bit, so I'm going to go through some stuff. So, Rise of Iron, September 20th?
September 20th, yeah. PlayStation 4, Xbox One. New story, new campaign, new characters. It's a whole new zone to explore. Go out and fight some new enemies. Got a new raid, new and returning strikes. It's a whole ball of wax.
So this is the first time that I think that you guys have actually used like the word campaign since the beginning of Destiny. So what does the new campaign mean?
It's just, like storytelling and cinematics, set over story missions that you go on, crafted experiences. So I'm not sure if we have or haven't used it before, but I definitely consider what we did with Taken King a campaign, what we did with Destiny originally a campaign. So it just means we're going to tell a really good story with really great characters, drive players around the world, and hopefully they'll come out feeling really victorious, and in this case, earning the title of the Iron Lord.
How hard of a decision was it to leave Last Gen behind in the middle of a game cycle?
Well, I mean, definitely we care a lot about the people who are playing over there, and we're not leaving them behind, right? Like, we're definitely making sure we can still support them. The fact of the matter is that we can't create an expansion the size of Rise of Iron for legacy consoles without taking something away. So the decision is really like continuing to support those consoles and then providing a path forward for current generation players to play new content. So if you're there on your PS3 and you still want to play Taken King, you can do that. And we thought it would be really odd if, for example, you went through the, House of Wolves storyline and all of a sudden like the Reef was gone because we couldn't support it through, the hardware. So we want to make sure that's maintained. People can still play that. And if they want to jump into Rise of Iron, yeah, you're gonna have to upgrade, and hopefully we'll be able to find some nice paths for players, and we're working with Activision and their partners to try to make that happen. So hopefully we'll have something to announce later down the line.
And then with going with current gen forward, what benefit is that to current gen players?
Well, I mean, fundamentally, it's not possible to deliver on last gen, so that's a pretty big benefit that we can provide another expansion. It's our fourth expansion to the Destiny universe in 2 years, so that's really important that we keep the story going. And yeah, we'll be able to provide, again, a new story campaign, tons of new weapons and gear, a larger variety of weapons and gear. There's definitely some bells and whistles. It's snowing on Earth. That's really important to provide that kind of really rich landscape. So the Plaguelands is a really beautiful looking space. It's set in a wide open area. It's got apocalyptic skies, snow falling, geysers of lava coming up. It's a pretty stunning vista in space, and we think players are going to enjoy exploring.
So the Plaguelands is a new destination on Earth, which also means a new landing point as well, correct?
Yeah, it's actually a zone. So when you think about the director and the destinations, you're still going into Earth, and then there's a new landing zone there. So it's a sizable place to explore. It's got collectibles, it's got enemies to fight, set pieces. The raid is set there. The new strike is set there. So there's tons of things to do there. So we think it's going to feel really sizable and really compelling for players to go in there. All the story drives through there. And we're also doing some fun stuff with existing bubbles. In fact, the game starts with you in the Cosmodrome where you were first resurrected by your ghost, only now it's snowed over, all the water is frozen, and you can see the big damage that's been done to the wall. So you punch through and you go into the Plaguelands, following in Lord Saladin's footsteps to find out what happened to the Iron Lords who fell and to face their ultimate foe.
And so there's going to be a third social space. So right now we have the tower and the reef, yep. And then you're going to, if I remember correctly, you're going to run a quest line to unlock Fellwinter's Peak.
Yeah, it's part of the story. So there'll be a mission where you climb up the side of the mountain and rout out the Fallen who have sort of set up camps there and take it back from them and reestablish it as sort of the forward operating base for the Iron Lords. So from atop Fellwinter Peak, you can actually see the Plaguelands. So you can see the wall and you can see the colony ships out there. It's a really cool vista, and that's sort of where you'll get your marching orders to go out through the campaign. That's where we'll drive some new characters to give you reasons to go out into the endgame stuff. There's a whole suite of things that we aren't talking about that we'll expose later as we dig deeper into Fellwinter Peak, and just some really fun stuff to give people a reason to keep coming back to the social space. And we'll also have all the fundamentals. We don't want to have you ping between like 3 different spaces, right? So your Postmaster will be there, obviously Cryptarch will be there, Lord Saladin will be there. It's a really unique space in the way that you come to it, but it also has a really unique vibe. And overall, that kind of permeates the entirety of Rise of Iron. It definitely feels much more sort of heraldic, heroic. The sort of interplay of snow and fire and lava and ice gives it a really nice theme.
So it sounds like Lord Saladin is going to be a regular vendor character in the game going forward after September 20th.
Yeah, so he's going to be there both to drive the story missions, but he's still in his role as the last surviving Iron Lord. So, of course, that means we're probably going to have some fun stuff around Iron Banner, and in PvP we'll have new maps and a new mode that'll drive that, and some other fun things around the aspect of becoming an Iron Lord. So, yeah. And in a reveal trailer, you can see we pull the helmet off so players can get a good look at him. And a lot of the expansion will be about exposing the story, like who was Lord Saladin, but also who were these Iron Lords. So players have seen the names, Yolder, Ephrodite, and so you'll learn what happened to them. You'll learn what they did to sacrifice to save humanity, and then you'll go on a quest to avenge them. So I think that'll be pretty cool for players.
So yeah, the basis of it is what happened to because I believe there was 9 Iron Lords. And 8 of them.
Yeah, there were many Iron Lords actually, and the story with Lord Saladin is about the last remaining, and so you'll see what happened to them as sort of in their final moments.
And then there's going to be a new type of fallen, like an infected fallen, a plagued, or a Sivad fallen, I believe.
Yeah, Siva is ancient Golden Age technology, and they are corrupting it, bending it to their will. The fallen devil splicers, and so there'll be some new combat roles for them. There'll be some new bosses to fight, and of course they'll be there to challenge you in the raid itself. So yeah, they have this really cool, almost nanotechnology vibe. So I don't think plague like zombies, plagues like locusts.
And going into year 3, you guys have made a lot of changes in year 2 to like what I call like a smart loot system that pays attention to your light level and increases things, and the infusion, the 1-to-1 infusion. Is there any plans to change any of that, or is the feedback that's fine with that, it's going to continue?
Yeah, I think with April we came to a really nice place where the loot and reward systems are really generous. Light still matters and is a factor, but primarily players are on the hunt for the kind of gear that they want, like whether it's a visual look or perks, and so we really like the way that's working. We're getting a lot of positive feedback. We're certainly going to make tweaks and refinements, but overall I think the system's going to stay the same. Infusion's definitely going to be there for Rise of Iron.
You introduced Iron Galahorn as a pre-order bonus. That unlocks a quest or unlocks the weapon directly?
The quest is available for everyone, and so anyone that completes the mission can go on the quest. They can forge a Galahorn. If you have the pre-order, you'll get a special version of it called the Iron Galahorn that's black and silver. So as a pre-order player, you'll have both, and as a non-pre-order player, you'll have the white and gold version, and you get them at the same time, should you choose. So we didn't want to create disparity in the sandbox where all of a sudden you're getting pummeled in the first week because you haven't done the quest and somebody else has the pre-order. But we wanted to provide a cool, unique, visually updated version for players that pre-order, and kind of thematically ties into the story of the Iron Lords as well.
Right. Would any other weapon get a similar treatment to a different color, even whether it's legendary? Is this an opportunity for weapon skins or weapon color changes?
Yeah, we don't have anything to announce of those kind of features, but sounds like a fun idea.
So going from now until launch, is there going to be any other live events or anything that's planned to continue to keep the user base active between now and the launch?
Yeah, of course. We've got some fun stuff planned. So I think some people got a little peek at one of them with Moments of Triumph. We'll be doing that around Bungie Day, 7/7. We just had an update go live this week. Sort of a nice class balance pass, addressing some of the core feedback we were getting from players. So yeah, those kind of updates are going to be always prevalent in the game universe.
Any plans for any live events? Our community has been asking me to constantly ask you guys about where SRL is.
Yeah, SRL we get a lot. Yeah, we definitely. So like strikes, if we bring them back, we want to reprise them, update them, make them feel fresh. I've definitely heard a lot of requests for Sparrow Racing League. It was one of the things that we were being pretty experimental. It actually came out of a hackathon internally, and we didn't know if it was too divergent from the core gameplay that players would really embrace it. We think it did really well, so certainly open to bringing it back, but if we do it, we want to do it in a really fun way.
And then again with the continuing forward on current gen only, what does that do about like vault space or anything like that, or bringing weapons? Are we going to be leaving our weapons behind again, similar to year 1 to year 2, like where we went automatically to Taken King weapons, and we were re-leveling blues and greens and blues.
Well, infusion's going to still exist in this world, so you'll still be able to take things forward and upgrade those. So that doesn't really have anything to do with the platform itself. That's more about the kind of fundamental reward system. So again, we're pretty happy with the way April worked. We certainly want to provide people with a bunch of new gear and guns. People like going on the hunt and collecting new stuff and trying new weapons out and finding out what's their new favorite. So we want to make sure we provide a wide variety of weapons, armor, and gear, and we're totally going to do that. And of course, there are things that people already love and know, and we'll carry those forward.
Okay. Significant light increase, correct?
Yep.
But you're not going to give me a number,
right?
yeah.
Nope. So it's not being cagey. We're dialing it in, so we want to make sure that the team has the room to work and figure it out. They're pretty close, and they think they know what it's going to be, but there's some time to go before now on September 20th. We want to make sure that they're 100% locked before we talk about it.
And then what about a base level or an XP level increase?
It'll be light only, yeah.
So everybody's going to stay level 40, and they're going to continue to equip new gear to raise the light level.
Correct. That's
Okay.
perfect. So if that changes, we'll let everybody know.
So I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you very much. Rise of Iron, September 20th. Physical edition of the game?
Digital only for now, yeah.
Digital
So
only.
we don't have a collector's edition. With Taken King, we saw a little bit of confusion out there, so we wanted to make sure it was simple this time around.
And then one more that just dawned in my head. Anything similar to the Spark of Light going to exist?
Yeah, we're hoping we can do something like that as well for players that are coming in new that just want to jump straight in, and of course that's still there and included with the Taken King. So for players that are coming in new that buy that and buy Rise of Iron, they'll automatically get that through the previous offer. And for players who are already ready to go, they'll just jump in straight away.
Awesome. So thank you very much for taking the time. As they've been doing a really good job with their Twitch reveals, I'm sure it sounds like there's plans for over the next 3 or 4 months to show some things. And if anything shows, it'll be on the website, and I'll cover it, guys. So appreciate it. Have a good day. Thanks.